This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Just thought common sense, like, hey, let's save the state some money.
Yeah, that's common sense with that stuff doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I can see that isn't going to work.
Nuh-uh. It's not going to work. Common sense doesn't play into a lot of things like you'd think it would. 2nd of August, 2020, it's the 217 Recovery Podcast. I'm Corey Winfield. I had kind of a really weird, horrible day today, and I'm not even sure if it started last night. I think, I'll tell you though, as early in my recovery as I am, I think today was probably the toughest for me. I didn't drink today, so I'll give it up. Okay, I meant to hit the laugh track. I mean, that's how the day's going. But, no, a friend of mine had reached out, which I talked about on the podcast last night. And, you know, we had kind of made plans to talk today, and it kind of seems like being avoided, which, you know, when I was in relapse mode, I would avoid people that wanted to help as well. Even if I reached out for help, which was very rare, you know, it was one of those things. So I guess that's a normal thing for him. But for me, it just kind of leads to frustration a little bit. Then I had another friend. I don't know what he was thinking on Facebook, which is the devil. I don't get too political. I kind of did the other day just for fun to kind of rile people up. And it was kind of funny. But no, I was thinking about this the other day. Because, you know, when the flu season comes, which is coming, I've heard of, you know, entire families being taken out by the flu. You know, like if the mom gets it or if the kid gets it, then the mom, then the dad, and it just runs through them all. You know, everybody in the house usually gets the flu. And I remember thinking to myself, I haven't really heard much about COVID-19 running through households like that. I don't really listen to too much news. So, you know, maybe I just missed it, but I kind of threw that out there like, hey, you know, does this happen like the flu or what's going on? And I don't know, my friend Rob, he decided I don't know what he was thinking. He jumps out and leaves a comment about, oh, look at you using, you know, 217 recovery as a platform to make money and to get liberal, or I don't know what he was saying, man. He was trying to say I was being political about it, and I wasn't. I was just asking a question, and so then I kind of got mad back at him on Facebook, you know, the things that you shouldn't do. I should have just texted him directly and be like, bro, take down your thing, man. What are you talking about? But I explained to him, okay, first of all, where did you see anything about 217 recovery on this? And that's what really makes me mad too, is if people want to attack me, they try to throw 217 at it. You know, like that political thing I did the other day. Somebody's like, I thought you were about having fun in recovery. Oh, I guess I'm going to have to find a different recovery to listen to. Go for it, bro. I don't really care. You know, I'd bye, see ya, peace out, you know, and then I deleted him and anybody that liked that comment that he put, because the thing I had put had nothing to do with recovery. You know, it was about something that I thought was very racist and something that our president probably shouldn't have said. There you go. And he took offense to it, so whatever. He doesn't have to listen, and he probably never did anyway, so who cares? But, you know, for someone to use, you know, oh, you're using 217. No, I'm not, man. I'm really not. You know, that wasn't on a 217 Facebook page. That was on my personal one, and yeah, it's hard for people to tell a difference sometimes, but no, that was just how I was feeling that day. So, you know, when Rob, you know, threw that out there, like, oh, just 217, and Rob started 217 with me. You know, he was the co-host. And so that really kind of threw me off and just really angered me, you know, and I was hurt by it. So I had to, you know, kind of deal with that. And then something else came up too where I didn't see coming, and I think it has a lot to do with two different things. And this is what really brought me down most of the day. And I was trying to play it through and trying to play it out and figure out, okay, well, why am I so hurt by this? And, you know, I think that I had unfair expectations of a friend, and I think that it just, not unfair, unrealistic. I think that would be fair expectations to have someone, but just unrealistic. And then the way my mind works, have you ever like started thinking about something, and then next thing you know, you've already pictured in your mind World War V. Like you've taken it so far down this rabbit hole, and you're just so far gone with, oh, well, if this, and then this, and then that, and then this, and the next thing you know, my great-great-grandkids are missing arms. Like that's where my mind goes. And if you're like me, you know what I'm talking about. It's very frustrating because once I start thinking about it, I can't stop. And I did that. I overthought a lot of things today. And I think I did that as kind of a defense mechanism, which stems from a past relationship from, 3 years ago, 2 years ago? I don't even remember, but it was a very unhealthy relationship, and a relationship I got into when I was 5 months clean, and she had told me that, she was a junkie, and I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, I use heroin. And my first instinct was to run, like, oh, well, that's too bad. But then the next day I'm driving around and thinking about it, and I'm praying, and I'm like, God never gave up on me, so I shouldn't give up on her. But really, I think what I was doing without realizing it was thinking, well, if she's using heroin, then I can drink. Makes sense, right? So I think that's what I was really deep down thinking, that, well, she can't judge me then. She can't tell me I can't drink because she's using heroin. So I think that's probably deep down why I got into that relationship and, stuck with it and tried as long as I did. And then here's the part that I think I'm trying to defend myself against is in the relationship, she ended up quitting heroin, which was cool. She went to treatment and everything. It was good. And then she didn't stop using drugs, though. She switched to meth. So that wasn't really a good... okay. You can't really say you're clean. And I didn't know it at the time. And, it makes sense now. There wouldn't be... any sleep, like it'd be like, hey, why don't you come to bed? Oh yeah, well, I just can't sleep. It all makes sense now, but at the time I was just clueless, man. So when I did find out, I was blindsided, and it hurt, when she had switched to meth, and then I found out that she would get up and not go to bed, and then she would be on her phone, talking to different dudes, and then I realized that it wasn't, and did she cheat? I don't know, probably, but it was more about they had the drugs that she needed or wanted. So when I found all that out, man, it all came crashing down, and I had never been, to my knowledge, cheated on in a relationship. So it really, really hurt. It hurt bad. I had never been hurt like that before. So with the things that went down today and stuff, and was it that big a deal? Probably not, but I felt hurt, and I felt that pain, and my defense against that is to, okay, well, how do I go about this? And, did I have unrealistic expectations? And then I start thinking, well, what if this happens? And then that, and you better lower your expectations on everything across the board. And then it's like, well, how can you be, having a healthy relationship with someone if you have zero expectations of anything, and sometimes they say have zero expectations, but you expect somebody, if you're in a relationship, to, not cheat on you, that's what you would just, that's a fair, right? But, and I'm not saying anything like that has happened, but I'm just saying, like, those are the things where I was taking my mind to, like, well, let's not have expectations for this. Let's, and I don't know. I don't know. It was a tough day. As I said at the beginning of the podcast, it was a tough one, man. Today was one of the toughest days that I've had sober, and, these feelings that I've had, to deal with. And I think I probably should have done something more productive than trying to catch up on Vikings, which is a great show, but I finally finished it. I don't know. I've been feeling like I needed a day to just unwind and relax and kind of take a day off. Seems like I'm always doing something, but yet nothing. It's really weird, and that bothers me. But I think I just need to refocus and really take this next week to focus on myself and to not worry so much about other people. You know, like my friend, you know, does he need to go to rehab again? I would suggest it, you know, but if he's still dodging me, then, you know, there's nothing I can do about it. But if he asks me for advice, I'm going to tell him that. But his problem, you know, there's a lot of pride there. And I think if he does go back, he's going to have to go to a good place, and he's going to have to take it real serious. He's going to have to check his pride and leave his ego at the door. You know, what you did, what you used to be is in the past. You know, this is you today. Let's change. You know, let's work on some things. But yeah, I need to work on myself, and I realized today too that I don't myself have a person I can call and talk to. You know, like people call me all the time, and they'll send me messages, they'll send me emails, and that's cool. You know, you can do that all day long. If you just want to say hey, or if you need some advice, or maybe you got some advice for me, man, bring it, please. Corey at 217recovery.com, email, hit me up, Facebook, whatever. But I don't have that person that I can call and talk to, you know, and I guess that's kind of the downside of not having a sponsor. But I don't know if I would talk to a sponsor about this kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe I would. You know, my therapist for sure, but I don't see her again for another 2 weeks. So, you know, it's kind of hard. I'm sure she wouldn't mind if I could just call her and said, hey, I need to talk to you about some things. You know, maybe that's what I should have done. But, you know, a little late now and a little after the fact. But I think I need to get somebody that is not in my immediate circle that I can just pick up the phone and say, hey, you got a minute? I'm having a hard one today. But yeah, that kind of hit me. I was like, wait a minute. You know, Jamie's calling me. And so, I don't know. It's just like, I don't have anybody, man. That's crazy. So I'll put that on my list of things to do today. And I'll blog about it tomorrow. Tomorrow, Mondays are the days that I blog. And the blog is called Mondays. I know, real original, huh? But it's kind of a reminder to myself that Mondays I have to do a blog. And it should be a reminder for you too. Mondays you got to go read a blog at 217recovery.com. Anna's blog is there as well, Broken to Beautiful. Marnie has a blog, P.S. I'm Grateful. And then Jay, she has a blog, Spiritual Asylum. So read the blogs and subscribe to our website. And subscribe to, you know, however you're listening right now. Just take a minute, go to, you know, the follow, click that. And if you go to our website too and listen, 217recovery.com, you can do that all day. And if you want to subscribe, there's a few of the platforms that are up there. I think iHeart and Spotify, maybe iHeart's not. But there's a few of them that are up there that it'll take you right to them, like Stitcher, and then you can subscribe that way. And when we post new stuff, that way you're updated. And if you want to read the blogs, that's a great way too. If you subscribe, you'll get an email notification saying that there's a new blog. So appreciate you listening. And yeah, had a tough day today, but I didn't drink. So definitely it's a win-win. And at the end of the day, any day that I don't drink and I go to bed sober, seriously, it's good. So thank you. Appreciate the love, and take care. Talk to you Tuesday. And I'll blog tomorrow.